So do you also use Webflow for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to create Apollo.io contact on Webflow form submission. So over here I'm running a digital marketing agency and we gather the details of our potential clients with the help of Webflow. So now what I want is that as soon as we receive the details of our potential clients with the help of Webflow, automatically with the help of the same details, a new contact should be created in my Apollo.io account too, so that we can follow up quickly and efficiently. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Webflow and Apollo.io. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also want to create this automation for your business? Then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video, I'll show you how to automate the process of creating a contact in Apollo.io whenever a Webflow form submission is made. This integration helps you to streamline your lead management process by ensuring that every potential client from your Webflow forms is automatically added in your Apollo.io without any manual efforts. So follow along to learn how to set up this efficient workflow in just few steps. So to do this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of stars free every month. But over here I'm an existing user, so I'm just going to click on this sign in. And as soon as we're going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm just going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And as soon as we are going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to create Apollo.io contact on Webflow form submission. Webflow to Apollo.io, and then we just have to click on this create, and as soon as we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. So trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow will work. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. So that's why we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So let's get started by selecting our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm just going to select it as Webflow. So I'm just going to search for Webflow, and as you can see V1 and V2. So we have to select Webflow V2 over here. And now it's asking me for the trigger event. So basically trigger event is the event on which the workflow will start. So over here what I want is that as soon as a new form submission is made, my workflow should be triggered or started. And then we have to click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Webflow account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, it is saying click on the site setting button, navigate to the apps and integrations, and click on the generate API token button. Alright, we're going to follow the same. I'm just going to open my Webflow account, and over here you can see two sites. So I want to create this automation for this site, so I'm just going to go towards the site settings of this site only. Alright, you have to select the site first for which you want to create this automation, and now from the left side of the bar we have to go towards apps and integrations. And now I'm just going to scroll and we are going to create a new API token. So for that we have to click on this blue button which says generate API token, and now for the token name, let's say that I'm just going to keep it as new contact. So I'm just going to enter new contact right over here, and after entering this name, it is asking me for some permissions. So over here I'm going to give Pabbly all the permissions. Okay, if you want, you can definitely select the permissions which are necessary, but over here I'm going to give it all the permission. So I'm just going to select read and write for every one of them, and then we just have to click on this generate token. And yes, over here you can see that this is my API token. So I'm just going to copy this API token right from here, and we're going to paste it right over here in my workflow. And after pasting this API token, we just have to click on this save. And yes, you can see that we have successfully connected our Webflow V2 account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And over here you can see the site which we connected right now with our workflow. All right, so now we just have to click on this save and send test request button. And yes, you can see that now it is saying waiting for response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this response, we first have to open our Webflow account, and now what we have to do is we first have to go towards this publish, and we're going to publish this site. All right, because I want to save the changes which I made over here. Okay, and now after publishing this, once again we have to go towards this publish, and over here you can see that this is the my site button. So I'm just going to open my site right over here in a new tab. And yes, over here you can see that this is the form. So I'm just going to fill in this form as test user. So let's say for the first name I'm going to keep it as test, last name user. Over here you can see the mobile number which we are going to enter. Over here you can see the email, and now for the organization name I'm going to keep it as Pabbly Tuts. So I'm just going to enter it right over here and click on this submit. So I'm just going to submit my details, and yes, you can see your submission has been received. So now Webflow has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow, and yes, over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. You can see the email which we entered, you can see the name which we entered, you can see the mobile number and the organization name which we entered. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now what will happen is that as soon as a new form submission is made in my Webflow account, automatically my workflow is going to get triggered, and Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same. All right, we're going to move on forward. What we want is we want to create apollo.io contact on Webflow form submission. So for my action application, I'm just going to select it as apollo.io. So I'm just going to search for Apollo, and as you can see the same, so we're going to select it. And now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as create contact and click on this connect. Once again, it is asking me for the same. So if you have already connected your apollo.io account, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But no, I haven't. I'm just going to click on this add a new connection, and now it is saying you can get your API key from here. So once again, we are just going to click on this hyperlink, give it right over here to get our API key. And as soon as we're going to come over here, we have to go towards the left side of the bar towards the API keys. And over here, you can see 3 API keys which I've already created. But I'm just going to create a new. For that, I'm just going to click on this create new key, give my key a name which is new contact once again. So I'm just going to enter new contact right over here too. We are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the description. So this is optional. So I'm just going to leave it as blank. Now for the APIs, I'm just going to select it as contact / create because I want to create the contact, right? You can see that this is the same action event which we have selected, create contact. So that's why I've selected create contact right over here too. All right, so I'm just going to select this, and then we are going to click on this create API key. And yes, over here you can see that we have successfully created our API key. So I'm just going to copy this API key right from here, and then we're going to paste it right over here in my workflow. And then we just have to click on this save. And yes, you can see that we have successfully connected our Apollo account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow too. And now it is asking me for the first name, the last name, the organization name, and the email. So yes, these are the same details which we have received in the response of our previous step, right? Over here you can see all the details. So we have to enter these same details which we have received right over here in the response of our previous step. All right, so I'm just going to enter the first name right over here, but we are not going to enter it manually or by copy pasting it like this, but instead we are going to map it. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Webflow as our trigger application. So we are just going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm just going to map the first name. So I'm just going to look for first name in the previous response, and as you can see test, so we're going to map it. Same we are going to do with the last name too. I'm just going to look for last name and map it. Over here we are going to do the same with the organization name. So I'm just going to look for the organization name, and over here you can see Pabbly Tuts. We're going to map it, and then we're going to map the email too. And after mapping all of the required details, we are going to move on forward. You can see that now it is asking me for many another details. So all of these details are not the required, so I'm just going to leave it as blank and click on this save and send test request. If you wish, you can definitely fill out the rest of the details too. And as soon as we're going to click on this save and send test request button, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response that a new contact has been created in Apollo.io account with the same details. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to open my Apollo account and we are going to check for the new contact created in the people section from the left side of the bar. And yes, over here you can see a new contact has been created. You can see the same name, the company name and the email which we have entered, right? So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now what will happen is that as soon as a new form submission is made in my Webflow account, automatically Pabbly is going to trigger the workflow, capture the response for the same and further create a contact in my Apollo account. That too without any manual efforts. This workflow is going to run in backend and create a new contact in real time. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request button. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.